Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by CALVO'S Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on Primetime, Mother Nature packed quite the punch early today. We'll show you how all that rain affected everyone's morning. Plus, a man is dead after a serious motorcycle crash in Tumon. This just one day after police responded to another deadly accident. And a massive data breach, private information for millions, including people on Guam, is potentially exposed.
Today and good evening.
We lead off our coverage with what many woke up to today, the heavy downpour, the rain causing a mess throughout the island and even at a couple of local high schools. Video and photos sent to our newsroom show flooding at GW High this morning, a waterfall going down the stairs at one area of the campus. Other images show students in flooded hallways and the water getting high enough that it flowed into some of the first floor classrooms. Was a similar situation over at Tizen High. You can see them cleaning up in these images here, though classes went on as scheduled.
Elsewhere, video shows flooded neighborhoods, streets, people out walking in ankle-deep water. The water levels in some low-lying areas even reaching the height of a car window, at least for those who tried to brave their way through the flood but ended up going nowhere. Police say early today they also warned drivers out on the road, cautioning them that when the weather gets like this, it can cause manhole covers to pop open.
Well, no doubt there was damage reported following this morning's showers. The National Weather Service confirming it was a rather unusual occurrence. Valerie Maige had more on our continuing coverage.
Pulled right out of the ground, a Dededo homeowner is left picking up the pieces after the retaining wall from another residence behind hers came crashing down into her backyard and home. It was a troubling morning for the woman that lives here. The damage is hard to miss. You can see the mess left behind. Rocks, mud, and even pieces of the fence were strewn about all over the street of this exclusive Paradise Estates neighborhood in Dededo. The woman says so far the Homeowners Association and the property management has been supportive, helping to clean it up. She says she has also spoke to the owner of the property, and they have apologized for the damages and agreed to work with her to rebuild.
It's very unusual in the intensity of the rainfall.
Meanwhile, National Weather Service senior forecaster Mike Middlebrook gives us a better idea of what we experienced today.
As late as 4 o'clock, it didn't look as if it was going to be any really heavy rain. But then suddenly around between 5:30 and 6, it found the secret pill somewhere and just suddenly blew up into a cloudburst, basically.
Middlebrook says cloudbursts typically happen out over the waters, and what happened on Guam this morning, though, dumped more than 3 inches of rain in just a few short hours.
Middlebrook says Guam is no stranger to this kind of rain, but what makes this time so unique, most of the rain fell in less than an hour, causing low-lying areas and some buildings to fill up with water. He says the island can expect some showers over the weekend. They are monitoring a disturbance just east of Guam and north of Chuuk that he says could bring 2 to 3 inches of rain, but not as extreme as the rain we experienced today. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Valerie Maige.
The National Weather Service late this afternoon issuing a special weather statement about the tropical disturbance. It is expected to pass through the Marianas Saturday afternoon or evening, as Val reported could bring numerous showers and isolated thunderstorms beginning late tonight. Today's crazy weather didn't all end with a bad outcome. This next video we are about to show captures a couple of good Samaritans. It went viral on social media in a matter of hours.
Wading in waist-high water. This car nearly submerged. And no, you're not looking at Hurricane Harvey footage. This is viewer-submitted video captured around 7 this morning along Pilantat, Jotnya. The Jotnya woman seen here was rescued by another individual whose car was also stuck in the deep. Neighbors came to her aid, one even supplying towels and holding out an umbrella. Another who captured the video offered to give her a ride home.
So that's your car?
Yeah, that's my car.
How did you get out?
The boy
the boy that got stuck further.
He helped you?
He got out and he helped me. He told me to open the door. I could not.
Okay.
So he opened it from the outside.
Okay, that's.
She never got the name of her hero.
And it's the guy that got stuck.
Who was the guy?
His car's in the water.
His car's in the water. What's his name? The one that got stuck?
I didn't know, but...
The hero was in fact female. In a phone interview, 25-year-old Jerica Santiago of Gigo says she was dropping a friend home to Jotnya when her Sentra came to a stop. After pushing her car out of the water, she saw another behind her. Quote, "I wanted to see if everything was okay," end quote. The woman inside was trapped and yelling. Her door and windows wouldn't budge from the inside. Santiago says from the outside she was able to open the car door and bring the woman to safety. Quote, "I saw somebody that needed help. That's what I did," end quote. KUAM visited the scene this afternoon. The waters have since receded. According to people living nearby, the water cleared around 9 a.m.
I'm going to go home and call and tell everybody that is, even the legislature already knows, send somebody here to see what's going on in Plantan.
Yeah.
I'm going to call Public Works.
KUAM shared the video with the Department of Public Works Director Glenn Leon Guerrero. He immediately recognized the site, noting that although there is a ponding basin nearby, the basin was overwhelmed, which is not unusual during heavy rains like this morning. DPW staff, he says, will also pay a visit to the area.
Hashtag all dry here. This morning's rain causing a flood of inquiries to Nissan Guam after this photo circulated on social media. The company wanting to clear the record, though. This is not a photo from their Barragata stockyard. The photo was ripped from the internet, possibly sourced from a Russian website or a Hurricane Sandy article. They state, unfortunately, the social media circulation of photos can be very deceiving and can reach a great number of people in a very short span of time. Nissan Guam's management assures the Guam public that our vehicle inventory, new and used, are sound and ready to take care of your transportation needs at this time as it has been in the past.
The 35-year-old man killed in an early morning motorcycle crash has been identified as David Copeland Sr. Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Aurelio Espinola confirms he died as a result of a skull fracture. His death was ruled an accident. Espinola is now awaiting toxicology results. It was just before 3 a.m. today. Copeland was riding along Route 14 in Tumon when he lost control of his bike near the Outrigger Hotel. Police say he ran off the road, hit a curb, climbed onto the sidewalk before crashing into a fire hydrant.
Well, his death was accidental. The autopsy for 66-year-old Rod Tangen shows that he died from a skull fracture and crushed chest. It was just before 1 a.m. Thursday that he was driving on Harmon Loop Road when he lost control of his pickup truck. The truck then jumped the curb off Harmon Loop Road, crashing onto the fence and concrete pole. Medics performed CPR, but he didn't survive. The medical examiner is also waiting for his toxicology results.
A 7th corrections officer is under arrest charged for his alleged part in the major contraband scheme at the prison. Corrections officer 22-year-old Shane Anthony Cruz is charged with official misconduct, conspiracy, and promoting major prison contraband. Details of his involvement in the alleged scheme have not yet been released, but authorities confirm his arrest as part of the ongoing investigation with the Department of Corrections. Meantime, DOC leaders confirming today another random shakedown at the Post 16, which is the General Population Housing Unit, resulted in a positive find. Inmate Vincent Municio is charged with promoting major prison contraband after officers found a cell phone during their search.
New details are released into the investigation involving another inmate caught with contraband at the prison earlier this week. Court documents state Eric Roy DeCastro told investigators he had been involved in smuggling cell phones when he previously worked galley detail. On Wednesday, officers found a cell phone in DeCastro's Post 6 cell hidden in a set of louvers. The inmate's bail for this case has been set at $5,000. He is charged with promotion of major prison contraband. We'll keep a close eye on your credit card bills. A massive data breach at credit reporting agency Equifax may have exposed the private information of nearly half the U.S. population, including many here in Guam.
Nestor Lacanto reports.
There's no telling how many local customers are affected, but Banking Commissioner Art Ilagan says Equifax is a top company that's commonly used here.
You may not know it, but when you went in for a loan, the banks and lending institutions would go into Equifax, one of the credit checks bureaus, and submit your name, your social security number, and it's there.
If you notice any unexplained charges, check with your bank. Ilagan says they should be working with Equifax to resolve problems.
There was an agreement. They both should be liable for
On its website, Equifax confirms as many as 143 million U.S. consumers may have been impacted. Compromised data may include social security numbers, birthdays, addresses, and even driver's license numbers. A dedicated website has been set up, EquifaxSecurity2017.com, where you can sign up for credit file monitoring and identity theft protection.
I deeply regret this incident, and I apologize to every affected consumer and all of our partners.
But it's always changing, right? Every time they find a way to protect database, somebody comes up with a way to hack it.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Read it. Thanks, Nestor. A possible 28-cent increase in gas prices at Mobil. We are still waiting on official confirmation from the corporate office, but we made several calls to the Mobil gas stations, and the employees who answered all said they were told that the price per gallon would go up 28 cents beginning at midnight tonight. It's going to be a busy night at the pumps.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens, it's a beautiful day. We rely on the people we trust, it's a beautiful who we can always count on. And the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on CALVO'S Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are. Gov Guam employees, retirees, and survivors, enroll today.
Activate a new account at IT&E and get double data on the network that gives you more.
At Shell, it's about offering more than just fuel. It's about providing service to people. From hot coffees to warm welcomes, from clean bathrooms to fresh food, we're on a mission to make you leave happier than when you arrived. So whatever your journey, we're here. Welcome to service. Welcome to Shell. Serving the islands for over 30 years. Share your story at Shell Foodies Guam on Instagram and Facebook. Hashtag Station Stories, hashtag Shell Guam.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
It seems all parties want to settle the controversial lawsuit filed by the Superintendent of Education and the Guam Education Board. However, the case remains tied up in federal court as they have yet to agree on one thing.
Isa Baza has more.
There is only one thing standing in the way of settling the $7 million lawsuit filed by Superintendent John Fernandez against the Guam Education Board. Disagreement on whether or not legislative approval is needed. Attorney Delia Lujan Wolf argued in court today that legislative approval would not be needed for a draft settlement agreement she submitted to the Attorney General's office, but that was never shown to board members. The draft agreement would not call for cash payment. When Chief Judge Francis Tidenko Gatewood asked why the draft agreement was never presented to the board members, Assistant Attorney General Kenneth Orcutt said he didn't have to present the board with the draft agreement, adding, "The AG's office has the final say when it comes to the settlement agreement." Without resolution, a motions hearing was set for September 22nd. Meanwhile, Senator Joe San Augustine said if legislative approval is needed to settle the case, he has yet to see anything in writing from the AG's office.
I met with the chairman. He's advised me that the Attorney General's office is saying that we need to have a legislative approval for his settlement. And I said, okay, now where is the official letter?
He has since submitted draft legislation to the AG's office that would allow for settlement in this case as well as others.
So that the legislature is not bogged down with, we need to settle at 10,000, we need to settle at 60,000, or whatever amount, as long as it only exceed 100,000, and the agency has the funding to pay for it, then let them settle it.
He also called into question previous settlements and whether or not these also underwent approval from Guam senators.
Because if we're saying under the title, under the code, you're required, if any settlement has got to go to the legislature, then what other settlement has happened before in the past? And how was that settled? Because I know for a fact there's been a lot of settlements. And if there has been, then what makes this any different?
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
A public hearing is currently underway for two bills that would affect Guam's public education system. Both were introduced by Education Chairman Senator Joe San Augustine. Bill 160 would convert the island's 180 instructional day requirement to hours instead, in the hopes of providing school administrators with greater flexibility when it comes to making up lost days. Meanwhile, Bill 159 would raise the required age for children to attend school from 16 years old to 18 years old. San Augustine has reached out to the Guam Education Board and Guam Federation of Teachers to hear their thoughts on both bills. The public hearing started at 5:30.
Several weeks into the school year, and it remains unclear whether or not Guahan Academy Charter School will be cleared to open its middle and high school campus come Monday morning. This after classes began at the new facility this week without an occupancy permit in place. DPW Director Glenn Leon Guerrero saying the school is still working to gain clearances from GFD, Guam EPA, and GWA. While the school was expected to reopen Monday, officials have indicated that's not the case and that updates will be posted on the school's Facebook page.
Public safety officials weighed in, all in support of Bill 165. The legislation, which was introduced by Senator Tilina Nelson, lightens the physical fitness standards for peace officers previously set by Guam law. During a public hearing today, Nelson didn't sugarcoat her disappointment in the force.
1 month I get north and south. A month later, we're going to lose 50% of our force. But what was very clear to me is that we needed to make some changes, and we needed to listen to what the agencies had to say, and we needed to implement something to accommodate these agencies so that our officers are successful.
Current Guam law requires all peace officers to pass a physical fitness test that mirrors that of the U.S. Air Force standards, which includes a waist measurement, push-ups, sit-ups, and a 1.5-mile run.
Could the proposed increase in sonar testing near the Mariana Islands impact nearby marine life? UOG professor Dr. Terry Donaldson says when it comes to fish, the intensity of military low-frequency and mid-frequency sonar could conceivably affect their hearing.
Think of turning up the volume on the television set until you can't stand it anymore. That could have an effect on your hearing. It could conceivably have an effect on fishes, but their studies have shown so far that it doesn't really. They can detect it, they may show some avoidance, they may get a little bit disoriented possibly, or stop feeding, but it passes very quickly.
However, scientific studies have shown that other marine mammals, such as whales, are more sensitive to sonar. Some observed effects include changes in respiration, swim speed, shifts in migration path, stress, and stranding, among others. We should note the island experienced a slight spike in beached whales back in 2015. To learn more or provide comments on the training and testing supplemental environmental impact analysis, you can visit mitt-eis.com. Comments are due by September 15th.
More than 100 professionals are attending the National Association of Women in Construction Leadership Conference 2017. The two-day conference includes more than 40 topics, 18 speakers, and 4 keynote speakers, including Commanding Officer, Naval Facilities Engineering Command Marianas, Captain Stephanie Jones, and former U.S. Attorney for Guam and the CNMI, Alicia Limtiaco.
We've got leadership through mentorship. We've got time management. We have some HR stuff, employee handbook, pros and cons. Captain Jones this morning spoke on leadership through in command, which makes sense for her position. It's a wealth of knowledge and information, and anybody who's staying through the 2 days is going to leave much more knowledgeable and informed than they arrived this morning.
The conference continues again tomorrow at the Pacific Star Hotel in Tumon.
Well, coming up in sports, our Dial Rent's own Athlete of the Week, but first, your weekend weather forecast.
From the network that brought you up to 3 times more data comes the dawn of a new data. The epic story of Guam's only network brave enough to give 10 free gigs of bonus data on every line every month to customers who bundle their services. Reviewers are calling the offer totes awesome. Best deal ever. And yes.
Visit GTA.net for details.
The Cheers Guam Series presents the largest wine event of the year, WineFest 2017. Enjoy an evening with over 150 wines from around the world on Friday, October 6th, as the Hyatt Regency Ballroom transforms into an international wine extravaganza. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. General admission tickets are $66 and are available at the Hyatt Deli and all 76 Circle K locations. Super premium tickets are $180 and are available at the Hyatt Deli. Purchase your tickets today. Must be 21 years or older to attend. Savor the wines of the world at WineFest 2017.
The Down Syndrome Association of Guam exists to support families of individuals with Down syndrome. We're a group of parents who have children with Down syndrome and know the joys and challenges of raising them. For more information about the health, development, and education of a child or adult with Down syndrome, please contact Vicky Ariola at 472-6114.
It's Hyundai's Kickoff the Savings event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Score big, save big with the all-new redesigned Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. Gain those extra yards with up to 45 miles per gallon highway and an introductory savings of $4,500. Or check out Guam's best offensive line, like a new Accent starting at $11,995, or the new Elantra starting at $16,995. How about the new Tucson starting at $19,995? Plus, every new Hyundai gets Guam's best warranty. It's Hyundai's Kickoff the Savings event at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Friday business, woohoo! Chris Barnett filling in for Double D. Buenas Toto Marianas coming up. Del Renton Athlete of the Week, but we kick it off with the kickoff of the NFL regular season as the Kansas City Chiefs travel to Foxborough to face the Patriots. Let's go. Kansas City coming from behind in the third to take a 21-17 lead. Tom terrific. Not so terrific. No TD passes in this game, but the Pats get surprise scores from Mike Gillislee. He had 3 touchdowns, 45 yards on 15 carries. This had Pats fans with the feels. But the Chiefs, Alex Smith, shotgun. Smith threw for 368 yards and 4 TDs. Little of both right here. The rookie Kareem Hunt bit fumbly in the beginning, but what a turnaround. 98 receiving yards and this touchdown. Casey masterpiece. 28-27. Hunt again here, first and goal. Supertramp takes the long way home. The rookie with 17 carries for 148 yards. And I hate to say I told you so, pigskin pick'ems, I picked the Chiefs. KC running game things here. Charkandrick West, Pokemon name. West, 21 yards for the score. Kansas City, safe to say, with the upset. Get Andy Wheeler a Kleenex. Chiefs, 42-27, with Tom Brady looking a bit thirsty here.
We're here at Del Renton East again for our Del Renton Athlete of the Week. Today we have JFK running back Justin Camacho, and here to present it with a check is Felicia. Felicia?
Congratulations on becoming Athlete of the Week. Who would you like to present your check to?
I would like to present my check to Make-A-Wish Foundation.
You guys are going through a change in coaching staff this year. Alan Bland doing the defense, overall head coach, and then Brian Hahn controlling the offense. How has things been going for you, being a two-way player, both offense and defense?
It's been good. My team's been progressing by the week. Our coaching, we have a whole new play set. Offensively with Coach Brian, he pushes us to do our best. Our plays are a lot different from last year, so we have to adjust to that too. With Coach Allen, he's being partnered with Coach Mike Mendiola, and we just run basic defenses, but we do a little adjustments throughout the game.
Big touchdown against Ukadu, a play where you broke a couple tackles, you were in the pile. Your knee never touched, got up, and made your way into the end zone.
First thing I thought was I didn't hear the whistle, so I just kept going, and then I just hit the outside and dove for the touchdown.
Playing Sanchez, your next game, pretty tough game. What are you guys going to have to do in order to be successful in a game against a team that runs so much?
Our defense, we're really going to have to stand our ground that game. Sanchez may be a running team, but we still got to stay alert on the passes and stay awake. Me and my team are really looking forward to this game, especially how they're 2-0, looking to give them the first loss.
Goals for yourself for the remainder of the season, anything in mind for you?
I would like to make all island for the team, and of course, like every year, we try and get a trophy, championship.
Anybody out there you want to thank?
I would like to thank my family, my coaches, and all my friends that support me. I appreciate everything.
All right, congratulations. Stay tuned to our next Dow Red Zone Athlete of the Week.
KUAM Sports Athlete of the Week is brought to you by...
All right, finally a reason to look forward to Monday again. The NFL kickoff of Sunday Night Football. Monday, September 11, 10:20 in the morning, KUAM TV 8. The Giants of New York take on the Cowboys of Dallas. That's Monday. Hey, Friday, business, woohoo! On behalf of my boss, Double D, you guys have a great weekend, Guam. My name's Chris. Hasta, adios!